Hey guys, Angry Monkey here.
And Jackson Ferrell from Hot Pile of Garbage.
We're playing more 9 Persons, 9 Hours, 9 Doors, and we just stumbled across this really pretty girl.
Oh yeah, she's of the 3 girls that we've seen so far. If this were a dating sim, she'd be the one I was going after.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the pink-haired girl's nice and everything. I don't know about the other girl, the dancer girl. She I don't know.
Her voice is a little too high-pitched for me.
Yeah, but we don't know who's going to voice her. What's she going to sound like?
Whose turn is it?
I don't remember. Well, Do
you want me to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you're the narrator.
Okay. Without saying, although there's going to be plenty of interactions between the two.
Oh, that's true. So
but I still want to do the bird's nest guy.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Without saying a word, Junpei walked slowly toward her. She didn't move. It was almost as though she was held in place by some sort of magic spell. As Junpei stepped onto her landing, the spell broke. No sooner had he set his foot down than the whole ship shook for... Oh, that's a tongue twister. For a second time. Ship shook.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
So, we don't know who's screaming, ah, but... Ah! The quake caught the girl unprepared and she fell. Moving on instinct, Junpei leapt to catch her. Or so he thought.
Or so he thought.
Her face was far closer than it should have been, mere inches from his own. He was flat on his back, and she landed squarely on top of him. The girl seemed as confused as he did, and her face suggested she still hadn't fully recovered from seeing him. Who are you? For a moment that seemed to stretch for a very long time, they stared at one another. The ship stopped shaking. I need some romantic music playing here.
Yeah, the game is literally throwing them together.
Everything was quiet. Well, I guess we can't have music. It's quiet. Water could be heard from the bottom of the ship, lapping faintly at walls and ceilings, but eventually that faded as well. The silence was complete, a thick, muffling blanket. At last, the girl opened her mouth, and her mouth's been open the whole time. Oh my gosh, is that you, Jumpy?
Oh boy.
What?
Time to break out the girl voice. Jumpy.
Jumpy. Her words echoed through Junpei's head, and suddenly his memory returned.
Akane?
Why hadn't he realized it before? The girl was Akane Kurashiki. She and Junpei had been friends in childhood. They'd gone to elementary school together for 6 years.
Ah, the childhood friend.
But what was she doing on this ship? Her soft eyes were only inches away from his own. He could feel the warmth of her face. Feelings he thought long forgotten began to work their way to the surface. He could feel his face heating up.
So how did they lose touch with each other, is what I'm wondering.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Junpei, you dummy, you don't let a girl like that get away.
Yeah, Junpei, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Junpei? A speaker crackled to life and a cold, eerie voice filled the room.
I mean, you run into a girl like that, she's clearly the love interest.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. I welcome you all from the bottom of my heart to this, my vessel.
With the voice's invasion, the spell between Junpei and Akane was broken.
I thought the spell was broken before. Oop! Continuity error!
And all hints of burgeoning romance instantly forgotten. Oh, I don't love you anymore. They hurriedly untangled themselves from one another and struggled to their feet. Their 7 companions had heard the voice as well, and many of their faces had gone pale. They looked around frantically, desperate to locate the source of the voice. Or the surface of the voice, whichever.
The source of the surface of the voice of the surface.
Yeah. At last they found it.
The surface.
A speaker set in the ceiling. So kind of on the surface. I mean, it's approaching the surface.
Yeah.
I am Zero, the captain of the ship. I am also the person who invited you here.
The voice was harsh, obscured occasionally by the crackle of static. But Junpei recognized it. How could he have forgotten it? I mean, not too many people sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It was the same voice he had heard from the man in the gas mask. Whoa! Hey, dude! What is this? Come on out here! I want to get a good look at you.
What do you mean to do to us?
I mean to have you participate in a game. Some of you, I know, are familiar with this game. The Nonary Game. It is a game where you will put your life on the line.
Nonary Game? What the stuff and things is that?
The voice continued, implacable.
The rules of the Nonary Game can be found upon your persons. They are simple rules. Read them.
Nonary Game?
Hey, there's like something in my pocket. Check this out. Silva reached into his pocket and pulled out a small slip of paper. The rest of them reached into their pockets and pulled out similar slips of paper. Junpei followed suit and dug into the pocket of his pants. He felt the telltale crumple of paper, slightly damp from his earlier ordeal.
Hey, I got one too.
Hooray!
Then it would seem Zero has seen fit to grace us each with a letter. Would you mind terribly reading it to us, young man?
His request had been delivered to Junpei, who, after a short moment of surprise, did as he'd been asked.
Oh, he's talking to me. On this ship, you will find a handful of doors emblazoned with numbers. We will call them the numbered well, duh. The doors in front of you are a pair of the same. Gee, hadn't put that together. The key to opening these numbered doors are the numbered bracelets that each of you possess. Should you total the numbers on your numbered bracelets and find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door, the door will open. Only those who have opened the door may pass through. There are, however, limits. Only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door. All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute.
Bracelet. Junpei figured it had to mean the bulky thing on his wrist.
I've deduced the identity of our kidnapper! It's Captain Obvious!
He glanced around. It looked like everyone else had won as well, and had come to much the same conclusion. The purpose of the game...
The purpose of the game is simple. Leave this ship alive.
Oh, that's obvious.
Yeah, I was planning...
Maybe he is Captain Obvious, I mean...
I was planning on leaving the ship alive anyway.
I mean...
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Junpei reached the end of the letter. There was a long moment of silence, and then the speaker crackled to life once more.
There is one last thing I must tell you. As you have no doubt surmised, the ship has begun to sink. On April 14th, 1912, the famous ocean liner Titanic crashed into an iceberg. After remaining afloat for 2 hours and 40 minutes, it sank beneath the waters of the North Atlantic. I will give you more time. I am such a nice guy. 9 hours. That is the time you will be given to make your escape.
My hands are starting to stink. The voice finished and the speaker went silent.
Just in time.
Yeah, the sound of a bell tolling echoed through the hall. It came from the dance hall adjacent to the stairwell. It took those assembled on the stairs mere moments to trace the sound to an antique clock embedded in the wall.
7,
8, 9. Hope the computer's catching the chimes, because that's... I guess I could turn this up a little bit. I mean, right now there's not really any music, so...
I heard them all right.
Okay.
I can only assume that our friends watching at home.
The viewers are also hearing the computer fan going shh.
Oh, yeah.
So, although it kind of works, it's almost like the ocean. Like,
yeah, or the machinery of the ship.
Yeah, that works. The sound of the 9th bell faded away. The 10th never came. That meant the time was 9 o'clock. Most likely 9 o'clock in the evening. When Junpei had peered out the window of his cell, He'd seen nothing but blackness. It had to be nighttime. If that was the case, then they would need to escape by 6 a.m. the following day.
Now it is time. Let the games begin. I wish you all the best of luck.
Well, you don't, otherwise we wouldn't be in here.
Besides, there's no such thing as luck. It all depends on your skill.
The speaker went silent and did not speak again.
Bye-bye.
Silver yelled at the speaker with language coarse enough to embarrass a sailor, but the rest of Junpei's companions were silent, deep in thought.
You stupid piece of garbage!
I'm Silver.
Oh, okay.
Yo, man, that's like totally bogus, man.
Such language.
Junpei, too, was consumed by his thoughts. There was a great deal he didn't understand. Who is Zero? What was the Nonary Game? Why had he chosen to make them part of it? Was he a criminal who took delight in playing with his victims? Or did he have some other purpose?
Well, he's obviously a criminal because we've been kidnapped.
Yeah, that's a pretty big criminal offense there. And why had Junpei been chosen as part of this insane game?
It would be really hard for me to think of a justification for... or a reason why he'd be rooting for us to get
Why
out of
had
this
any
alive.
of them been chosen? But one question was foremost on his mind. Akane. They hadn't seen one another since elementary school. Why had she appeared now? Coincidence? Nah, that seemed impossible. There had to have been a reason. He didn't know what it might be, but there had to be a reason.
Very well.
The lion's voice seemed oddly loud in the silence.
Standing around here won't do us any good. Best we get moving, don't you think? Get moving?
Are you planning to open the numbered doors?
Hey! Wait! Listen! Don't tell me you're actually going to do what this Zero says! No, that's not what I mean.
The lion shook his head, mildly annoyed.
I gave myself voice whiplash.
Yeah, with that kind of... he would be mildly annoyed.
I'm saying let's find another way. After all, we haven't really examined this place yet. What? Oh, so we're gonna get to look around now, after all the story.
Maybe.
There's
Their separate investigations finished. All 9 people returned to where they'd left one another. Oh, where are we at right now? Okay, we got a few more minutes.
Okay.
The result of their work was nothing. They were completely sealed in. Their hard work had not gone completely to waste, however. They had learned a number of things as they scoured the parts of the ship they could reach. It seemed that they were confined to decks A through C. C deck was as far down as they were able to go, however.
Oh, excuse me.
The reason being... Oh, that's a pretty obvious thing. We don't want to go through D deck. Strangely, however, the water had risen no higher than D deck. The flow seemed to have been stopped somehow, as evidenced by the surface of the water on D deck, which was as smooth as glass. The prince knelt down and gently drew his hand across it.
Perhaps this Zero fellow has used some sort of remote control to seal a watertight door lower down. He said that our time limit was 9 hours. In other words, this water won't rise for 9 hours. Then you're saying we won't sink till then? Well, that may be a little too optimistic. No point to wishful thinking.
There were 3 metal doors on C deck. The single door stood off to the side, with 2 more on the wall facing a central staircase. None of them had numbers or verification devices. They were, however, locked like the other doors. No matter how much they pushed and shoved, the doors refused to move. The mountain and the lion threw themselves against them a few times, but to no avail. Those are some strong things. I mean, a mountain and a lion. A mountain lion!
By our powers combined!
We form a mountain lion! The door in the back had a keyhole. Just above it was a strange mark in the shape of a circle surrounding a dot.
So that's just a mark. Okay.
Well, it is a symbol that means something, but you'll find.
What I mean is it looked like a hole, but it's not.
Right. There were 2 other doors on C deck as well, but it was clear they were elevators, as each had a button next to it with an upside-down triangle. They tried pushing the button. No response. Apparently, there was no power running to the elevators. To the left of the elevator was a card reader. The card reader also had a strange mark on it. It looked like a lowercase h with a dash across the upper stem of the H. Junpei stared at it for a while.
This is a symbol of Saturn. It's an astrological symbol.
That's me. That's me. Don't worry.
Oh, sorry.
You don't need to strain your voice.
Okay.
Then, the mark on the other door...
I think that was the sun symbol.
They had seen the same symbols on A deck. There was a door on either side of the stairs. The one on the left had a keyhole with a similar symbol engraved on it.
This is an earth symbol. The horizontal line symbolizes the equator.
Oh no! We gotta do the entire game like this! What have we gotten ourselves into?
I don't know.
Oh.
And the vertical one represents the prime meridian.
If there are any women out there watching this playthrough,
We're not offending you.
I'd just like to apologize to all of you that all of our girl voices are terrible.
Oh, I mean, what would you expect?
But we're just gonna double down on a bad idea here, apparently.
Hey, it's entertaining to watch. But we should probably stop this episode here. Catch our breath and so anyway, we've learned a little bit about it. We're in a Nonary game and we're trying to figure out how to get off the ship. There's 9 of us and we have 9 hours to get through the number 9 door. So the title of the game is starting to make sense now.
Yep.
But anyway, this has been Angry Monkey
And Jackson Ferrell.
and we are calling it quits on this episode, and catch us in the next episode. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it.
And
And we'll see you then, and we'll enjoy it.
yeah, take care.
Bye.